In this lesson, we're talking about various ways of saving money. Establishing a savings plan will help you to attain your financial goals. It's important to save enough money while you are working to allow for a comfortable retirement. And also in the short term, planning major purchases in advance can allow you to pay in cash and eliminate the need to accumulate debt by way of credit cards and the likes. So first we're looking at short-term savings. So saving money in the short term allows you to plan for major purchases such as buying a vehicle or for paying for things like vacations. So the first example says the Smith family is planning a vacation to Florida 1 year from now. They estimate the trip will cost about $3,000, and they have found a long-term savings account that pays 3% per year compounded monthly. How much would they need to deposit into the account at the end of each month to reach their goal? You're going to use the TVM solver for this question, and by now you should be getting pretty familiar with it. So they're going to make 12 payments within that year. The interest rate is 3. This is an investment, so the present value is 0. We're looking for the payment, so we'll skip that for a moment. Future value is what they hope to end up with, which will be $3,000. Monthly payments means the payments per year is 12, and the compounding period is also monthly, so 12. Okay, up to payment and alpha enter. We find out that they would need to save $246.58. Okay, moving on. Suppose the Smith family fails to plan ahead. So they end up using credit cards for most of their expenses while they're on this trip. And if they have then a credit card balance of $3,000 by the end of the trip and they hold that debt for 1 year, how much interest will they owe? Assume an interest rate of 22% annually on the credit card, which is fairly typical. Credit cards carry a very, very high interest rate. So if you had to pay 22% of your outstanding balance at the end of the year, then the interest you would owe would be $660, which is a significant portion of what the trip cost you in the first place. So always better to save ahead where you can. Now, in this lesson, we're also going to talk a little bit about long-term savings. So as a general recommendation, most financial planners will tell you that 10% of your net income should be placed into long-term savings to allow for future financial security so that you can retire when you want to and live the way you want to live when you do. Very few people actually do this. Very, very few people. There are many different options available for saving money on a long-term basis, but there are a number of factors to consider when you are choosing the best savings plan. So I have listed some of those things you need to consider here. How much risk are you willing to take? How old are you? How long will you leave the money invested, in other words? How much money are you investing? Are there tax advantages to a particular plan? So by that, I'm thinking in terms of things like RSPs, and RESPs, which you may be familiar with if you or your parents are saving towards your education. We'll talk more about those. Will you need to access the money before the date of maturity? The date of maturity is the date that you are allowed to withdraw the money from your investment. So certain types of investments have a required amount of time that you need to leave the money invested for. And so if it's money that you need access to, those might not be the best choice. Okay, at this point you're going to look through some of the different types of investments that are available. So by now you should have printed the sheets detailing those different types of investments and also the chart based on the different types of investments that I would like you to fill in. And when you are finished, you may check yours against mine. I have the answer key to make sure that you have all of the important parts noted. Okay, but that concludes the video component for this lesson.